afternoon and very good evening to you. That was super fast. I think I should enter the world record textbooks for the speediest YouTube intro known to mankind. Anyway, hello everybody. Finally have one, people of the tube. Line 6 Catalyst, everybody. Not much more to be said about this. I love this amp very much. Although there are things I don't like about it, and that's becoming a habit, and I don't like saying I don't like certain things. But the line out on this thing is terrible! I will get it out there first thing. I will show you the DI on this amplifier. Basically, the way I want to run it, I'm not allowed because the amp won't let me. I want to run it with the sound you just heard coming out of the DI. Any problems with that? No, there isn't. But apparently there is, in the fact it's going to distort everything on the DI. I will show you that now. So forgive me, people of YouTube, if I despair massively in the fact that that's a thing. That distortion sound does go away if I turn the volume down to obscenely low levels. That goes away. But what? Even if I turn the master volume off and just have the DI, it just distorts. I have to have everything super low, gain super low and level super low. I think maybe something's gone a bit wrong. I don't know. People of the tube, anybody who's got a Catalyst out there, does your DI do the same thing? Because I feel mine's broken. Its spidey sense is definitely not tingling. Anyway, negative aside, is this a good amp? Oh, blooming God, it is a good amp. Oh my God, it's amazing. So, I thought what I'd do, people of the tube, is basically just put a couple of different guitars into it. Well, I only have Strats and a Les Paul here. And get a couple of different kind of tones out of it. So I'm going to go for kind of like, you know, the usual kind of things. I want to go for like a John Frusciante kind of dirty, cleanish kind of thing. Jimi Hendrix kind of blues tone. Peter Greeny kind of blues tone. Some all-out rock tones. And all sorts of other stuff, basically. Metal stuff. We'll break out the Ibanez Iceman, I think. And we'll do some metal in there as well. But yeah, this thing is cool. It's very, very big. This is the 100 watt version. I'll say I've been waiting to try the 100 watt version. I've only ever tried the 60, and I really like the 60. But I'll say, looking forward to try 100, and here we are. I've been messing around with it for a while, and weirdly enough, people of the tube, I was having major issues with what I thought was this amp. I was like, oh, it's just not there. I was like, well, I'm getting really upset. Why is it not working? And then I found out it was the lead I was using was making the amp sound cack, and all my other amps sounding cack. So I changed the lead, and jobs are good. And if anybody wants to know, it was an Ernie Ball coily cable, like a pig lead. And it was adding loads of mid-range. Everything was sounding really honky and harsh. And I literally changed the lead back to my usual Fender lead, which is wrapped around the camera stand. And everything fell into place again, and everything was happy and joyous again in the world. Anyway, people of tube, you heard it at the intro with my pedal board. This thing takes pedals like nobody's business. It's just amazing. There are more tech specs online about this thing. I'll show you. I'll talk about it. I'll just nick a cheat sheet off the top. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 different kind of voices on this amp. You've got clean, which is just clean. That's what I'm running my pedal board into. And my God, does it sound good with pedals? You know, just a clean channel. Jobs are good. The boutique sound is kind of like another kind of cleanish kind of sound. I'll probably use that at some point. I don't know when. Chime, crunch, which is kind of like a Marshall setting. Dynamic and high gain. The high gain setting is to die for, people over tube. Yeah, it's got 18 effects, 6 different reverbs. You can do everything from the top panel. You don't have to have the app or anything like that. It's got an effects loop, power amp input, and all that kind of jazz. Power attenuator, XLR output, which is rubbish on this one. This is becoming a habit, and I hate saying bad things about good things, but this has to be brought to the attention. And like you say, you heard it. It sounds terrible. Unless I have everything turned down to the point where basically doesn't make any difference. Also has a USB interface, connect with the Catalyst app, and record direct. Again, another USB recording thing. Well, if I was going to record a line out, I'd use the XLR, but maybe not on this one. But again, people of tube, if you have one of these out here, if you have one out there, does yours sound like that bad on the XLR? Because my gravy lords, is that bad? It's like a horde of angry ants chewing off your face. Anyway, without further ado, people tube, let me unplug pedal board. Oh, I'll let you know how I had it set up for the pedal board actually. So I had it on the clean mode. I had gain all the way up, bass all the way off because you don't need bass, you're a guitarist. Mids was at 11 o'clock, presence was at 2 o'clock, and channel volume was up at full. And I had reverb for the intro jam at 1 o'clock, and I had the master really low. The master's on 1. This amp's loud. And it's got such a full sound. It sounds like you're playing through one of these. It really does. It's, you know, it's mental. I'm going to talk about something else in a bit. But anyway, let's talk tones first, and I'll talk about that in the outro. So let's get diving into the Catalyst's tones. Yes. Tones. With a Z. Because we're edgy. Okay, YouTube. There you go. That's the Line 6 Catalyst. Just like a little quick selection of kind of, well, not a quick selection, but a selection of kind of like different sounds, like classic rock, kind of like some crazy metal thing. I don't know what was going on with the delay. It's decided to just go mental. And some clean stuff, some ambient stuff, rock stuff, blues stuff. Elephant in the room. I really like this amp, but I wouldn't trade my katanas for this. The katana is just, in my opinion, better. The Catalyst is good, but it ain't the katana. And that, I'm going to do a shootout between the Katana 100 and the Catalyst 100, people of the tube, because the Katana's effects respond nicer. The effects in this one, they tend to clash, and they tend to, like, if you're using distortion, they tend to smash into each other. I don't know if it's just mine that's doing that, but although I am massively impressed with this amp and I really like playing for it, it's really enjoyable, it feels great and it sounds great, I keep getting taken out of the experience, if you will, by certain little things here and there, and it's very annoying. And I'm kind of upset, to be perfectly honest with you, people tube. Like, some things like the line out being terrible, the spring reverb affecting things in the weirdest way, and I don't know if it's just this one that's acting the go. Because is it a good amp? Yes, it is. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. But I'd recommend the Boss Katana more personally. Like I said, I will do a shootout between these two, and we'll go through it. But the Katana is just so smooth and perfect, and never, once it's dialed in, it never takes you out of playing. This constantly was interrupting me by doing one thing or another, which I didn't ask it to do. It takes it upon itself to do things. Like, it's just a bit weird. You know, is it a good amp? Yes, it is. Is it flawed? Yes, it is. You know, it's got issues. And that really annoys me, because I was really hoping this would be, like, you know, perfect, like the Katana was, but it just isn't. In all fairness, people of YouTube, I think I'm made in the same factory. I have an impression. Looking at the way this thing's made, and the way the chassis is housed, I don't know. But it's like the underperforming brother of the Katana. It still performs and does its job and does it well, but it's not as good as the golden boy of the Katana, in my opinion, people of YouTube. Just playing through it now, it's not as good as... I wouldn't trade this for my Katana. I would stick with the Katana. Is it a good amp? Like I say, yes it is. But there are faults all over it. There are things that need tweaking and sorting out. The actual kind of like interface to get different sounds and stuff is so dodgy. You know, it's fiddly. It's not as easy as the Katana. Katana's so simple. It's a dial, and you press the buttons to get different chords. It's simple, and you can set things up in 5 seconds flat. This one you have to hold buttons down, press another button, and then you have to hold them down and turn another dial to get to different sounds, and it just gets a bit annoying, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I have lost my temper with this thing a few times in this video, kind of going, well, what the hell are you doing? I didn't ask you to give that sound. The effects sound good. The inbuilt effects do sound good. They're not Katana level. They're just below Katana level, and the reverbs sound good, although again, not Katana level. They're good, but they're just not quite there. It's like it's sort of like 80%. You know, if the Katana's 100%, this is like at 80%. It's just running a little bit short, and it's great, but it ain't great. If somebody came to me, which one should I buy, Catalyst or Katana? I'm still gonna say Katana, because this is good, but it ain't the Katana. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid, POG. I hope you enjoyed the noises this thing makes, because it has been fun, but it's been constantly taking me in and out of things. The only time it didn't was when I was using my pedal board through the clean channel and just using it for power. Other than that, it's just been kind of like doing weird things and interfering. And again, the line out is a big negative to me, because I like DI. And if I can't use DI, then I'm kind of a bit like... Anyway, other than that, again, just, you know, not to be funny here, but the bass Katana's underneath, right? Looks... It's pretty much the same grill cloth. Slightly different pattern on the grill. Well, basically, the katana's Grurkov goes this way. The Catalyst Grurkov goes that way. So it's vertical, and this is horizontal. The Tolex is kind of the same. The Tolex on the katana is a bit more kind of like glossy, and then this is a bit more matte and rubbery. I don't know, PeelWithTube. I don't know if they're made in the same factory, but it certainly looks that way. The construction of the Catalyst looks very... No, and to call it Catalyst. Line 6. That is almost shameless. Is it a good amp? Like I said, for the third time and final time, yes, it's bloody awesome. Good gravy, is it awesome? But it ain't awesome enough. It doesn't step on the katana. The katana is very free and clear, in my opinion, on this one, PeelWithTube. The katana is still king. This is definitely the prince, but it ain't the king. Katana rules. It really does. Anyway, let me know what you thought, PeelWithTube, in the comment section below. And yeah, if you've got one of these things, let me know if mine's just acting the goat, or are they just a bit frustrating sometimes? And again, line out. Does anyone else's line out work perfectly? Because mine doesn't. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this vid. If you like the channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Link to that in the description box below, as well as link to my Bandcamp, where my music is. Other than that, again, to call it a Catalyst, wow, that is on the nose, isn't it? That is like that. And again, to not quite measure up to the katana. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this vid, PeelWithTube. I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Goodbye now. Let me know your thoughts. I really want to know. See you later.